world turns so much faster, and this pace of change is growing to such an immense speed. And how can we stay on top of this and not fall behind? I would like to challenge you to push the envelope, your own envelope, to change this world and to design the future through innovation, because that's the only way to lead the change and stay up. But how is that possible? Well, I give you a sentence from Albert Einstein. He said, "We cannot solve the problems of today with the thinking we used when we first created them." So, shape the new thinking and get ready for an age of disruption and digital revolution. Innovation is a roller coaster. It certainly is. All of those who have been doing a startup company, they know how close these challenging emotions of anxiety and fun to get an idea into a market. They know how challenging this is to have new endeavors. In companies, you have like rebels innovating the place because they have to get across all those people that say it won't work. So, roller coasters of innovation is here to stay. Why is innovation important today? As I said, we are ahead of a digital revolution. We are about to see a digital revolution taking place with a lot of changes and a lot of disruptions. And we can see them already. I mean, just think about it. 10 years ago, we had the iPhone. Only 10 years ago. I mean, you guys have all grown up with iPhones, but there are people out there who haven't. So now we can really have just all the tasks of today are really turning us upside down. And the clicks of every day are just a click away. The tasks of every day are a click away, because we can do our banking in a cafe. We can do our shopping online. We can actually ask our fridges to order food. That's possible now. Jeans can be body fitted online. And our family lives have become so much easier with getting around the sofa, talking about holidays and where would we like to spend them, and book the holidays online. So this time of disruption is a very good one, because it will bring also good causes, good changes to good causes. Medicine will see revolutionary treatments and cures coming up. Doctors can make use of 3D printing for materials in the bones. You can even see all the treatments visually on screens. You can show diagnosis based on big data. So we will see revolution in medicine. We will also have education no longer only taking place on campuses like this. We will see that people can actually take part of virtual classrooms from wherever they are sitting and have Wi-Fi. That's revolutionary, no? People in Africa, in any part of this world, can actually get Ivy League courses and be part of a platform where they can learn top-notch classes. That's revolutionary. Crowdfunding, to me, another thing that revolutionizes our ways we finance projects. Because these projects that are maybe dear to our heart don't have to make only economic sense so that you can sell it to a bank, but it can actually change the world. Think of this project that we maybe have heard about, the big cleanup project of the oceans, whereby we get the plastic out of our oceans. That was funded by 40,000 funders in 160 countries over 100 days. They got the first initial project cost covered so that they could start and build the prototypes. That's revolutionary, isn't it? So disruption is good, isn't it? But it's actually also worrying me, because what if we are not part of that world of disruptors, but instead be disrupted, be on the other side? So where employers don't take that trend and you fall out of that trend and this time of development. What if you don't belong to that part of creating something new, and you're rather too small or too maybe not brave enough to raise those questions and ask those very challenging demands? Let's innovate. Let's do something new. Think of AGFA. Do you know still AGFA, the film industry with those rolls? They didn't see the trend arising, so their employees fell behind. Think of Nokia. Think of BlackBerry. They didn't see the trend arising, and then they were left out. So this is what I don't want to do. And why is that important to me? Well, because before I knew it, that this industry disruption took place, my father was almost victim of this. I was 12 years old, and my father was a steel engineer in a region that really had only done steel production for a century. And my father came home and he said, well, I might lose my job. And so we had just built a house, and we had a beautiful garden, and my sister and I, we were shocked, because that was a paradise for us, you know, free space, and we just enjoyed it. And our father was so hopeful with this job, but there he was saying, it might not be possible anymore to keep this house. We couldn't share our worries with our friends, because they were doctors' daughters, or they were maybe the son of a postman. That even that job seemed more safe than my job, my father's job as a steel engineer. My father was really grumpy. He wasn't very good. My mother was supportive. She always said, there's a way out, let's just think. And we also sat together and we said, yeah, we can do this. But it was really a serious moment. And it taught me that lesson, that you can work as hard as you want. If your employer doesn't take that progress at hand, you will fall out. And you will just not be part of this world anymore. And your kids have to live without a garden, or without a house, or without a home. So what I'm saying to you is here, luckily my father's company was saved, and he was even made responsible for a very modern steel company afterwards. They invested in new technology, and they could actually make him work till he was 65. He even was going to China and Brazil to sell this idea that he invented. But what I'm saying to you is, be prepared. This digital era that is going to come is really going to change a lot. And so my teenage story could be repeated in your lifetime, in my lifetime maybe too. So, because think of Uber and Airbnb, Tesla, all these modern companies, they're really revolutionizing the business models. They're really making things completely new. They're disruptive. So what happens if this digital revolution disrupts even more traditional jobs? Who says that we need accountants in the future with automized software? Or what if a whole region is actually falling behind because they don't take that trend on board? So as an individual, you can all prepare. There are online courses everywhere. You're here in the university. You can actually get prepared right here. Challenge your professors and ask them about what is the innovation like in our field that we learn. Senior individuals, I mean, we can learn. We are not stupid. We can stay open and get ready for this digital transformation. We can even get up with younger people, build a tandem, let them talk about this. And then we share maybe some things that they don't know. At least I noticed that there's something to share. So stay experimental. This is something that we all can do. We don't know it all in this world anymore, because this world changes constantly. So tackle your fear of not knowing, because it's changing anyways. Find platforms where you can learn to be part of a change-making team. It's fun to create something new. And if you are in a company already, or maybe when you are going into a company, ask your leaders about their innovation plans and engage yourself into those innovation teams. Beware of people who say it won't work, you know, because change is always fearful. It makes people afraid. And if a new idea doesn't work, it's seen as a failure. Of course it is, because it's easy to blame somebody who was courageous. But Einstein, remember Einstein, he tried 10,000 times when he developed the light bulb. And he said, I didn't fail, I just tried 10,000 times till it worked. And he did. So we have light bulbs. And if you have good ideas, don't let anybody steal them, because good ideas are worth money if you get them into a real product, or a product that works. Former Starbucks CEO, Howard Schultz, he had this idea of selling brewed coffee long before Starbucks had this in his mind. And because He was just not accepting that they blocked his idea. He got out of the company, had his own cafe, tried out brewed coffee, made it into a success, and he actually bought the Starbucks retail business later on. And see what he got out of this. Imagine his ideas would have been blocked even longer. So trust yourself, please. As company owners, get ready for this revolution and build a strong agenda for innovation. It's one thing to keep your costs down and your company well running. If you don't see the disruptive forces in the market, standing still for too long will just be the end of it, because it might be the riskiest proposition to take. So learn to embrace risk, bolster out-of-the-box thinking, recruit different people with different mindsets, because that is going to increase the diversity in your teams and makes it more creative. Initiate a marketplace of ideas. Why not? And critical thinking is really imperative. And co-creation, a leadership where people can actually co-create with customers. That's essential as well. So to find a compass to innovation, and to challenge your status quo is now or never to make this change. And a small note to startup owners, is there any startup owner here? Think of people. Think of the people that could be the pillars of your growth. Train them well, make them a part of your ambitious team, because they will actually build your future in your company and bring it to the next level of existence. The founder of Uber, unfortunately, didn't manage. He had to get out because he didn't make that transition to becoming a reasonable company leader. So by accepting this roller coaster of innovation, you can shape a culture embracing it. And you can also do what these people did. Oh. No. Somebody saw this and made this. Somebody saw this and made this. Somebody played with this and found these very innovative uses. So you can actually repair these plants with a funny thing like a drone. So whenever I think of disruption and innovation, I think of a sentence, this sentence my mother taught us. There's always a way out. Just think. And my mother passed away 3 weeks ago. She can't see me here doing this, but she probably would have told you as well. Be bold, stick with your ideas, and don't let anybody take away these ideas. Because in this world today, we need innovators like all of you with a passion to succeed. So thank you very much.